Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. This is where we answer all of your questions about puppyhood. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Sparky from the Puppy Academy. We're excited you're here. And now, let's get to the show.
Welcome to Ask... Where are you?
I'm on Graham too.
I'm on Graham. You don't need to be on
You
Graham.
don't have Graham going. I'm on Graham.
Oh my goodness. Hello, welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. I'm Bethany. This is Sparky. It is episode 206. And this is Liberty.
She's very happy to be here. And she's very licky.
She's very licky. She's very excited.
Licky.
She's strong too. Look, she does not even want to be down. She just wants to be like propelling herself somewhere. Otherwise, I would put her down on all fours thinking she's more comfortable, but no. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into questions.
I like this question from Wyatt Oak and Tori. Wyatt Oak. Oh, that is an interesting name. I like it.
Three Hearts Ministry says, hello. Hello back.
I understand the concept of places in training, but when is places used after training? So place is teaching a dog to go to a designated area on command and stay there until released. That's dog training mumbo jumbo. Calm on command. Calm on command. So when do you need calm on command? That is the answer to your question. So when training is done and you've already implemented it and your dog knows how to settle pretty quickly on place, it becomes when I go to a restaurant. If I take my dog to outdoor patios, I bring a little dog bed. It's in my wife's purse. We take it out, unfold it.
If you need it.
We say place and they go on it. Well, I feel like most people in the beginning are going to need that. So when dogs get to like 3, 4, 5 years old, you can literally point to the ground, say place, they're going to lay down, settle.
Or just down is fine too. The idea of place is go to this designated area with a boundary, because that's why we teach place before sit down and stay. Because teaching a dog to target an area that has a physical boundary, they're animals. Physicality is the best thing to teach them how to stay somewhere. Then we layer sit and down on top of it. Cuts training in half for sit down and stay by using place. But anyway, you got people that come over, go lay down and stay. But you can't just use place when you need it in the big moments. You should be practicing place on she was settled.
Sorry, she looked too calm.
You want to practice it in the moments that are easy as well, just so they're in the habit of it. You're vacuuming, go to your dog bed, lay down. You got people coming over, the kids are doing homework, and the dog is roaming around, you're eating dinner, place, lay down. Like, have a routine that the dog does every day, so it's easy for the dog, and then it becomes that much easier when you need it in times of much bigger distractions, like someone coming over. So.
Fun fact. For show dog trainers or set dog trainers who do like movie sets, they have places that start large, like what we do, and their places become these little itty bitty dots that they place on the ground, and they teach the dog these markers, and that becomes their place to go stand on and do certain behaviors in them. Yeah,
targets are so important for dogs. And then there's also just the concept of so many dogs. Well, they're predators. They want to do things. They struggle being calm. So you have to practice being calm with a lot of different temperaments of dogs. Not every temperament. Some of them lay about half the day from genetics, but some of them don't. They just want to dig and kill things. And so you want to practice regularly. Like Liberty, go to the spot, lay down and stay. And practice calm.
I'm going to use her as an example. I just did her last lesson in our program last night at 6 p.m. She had 30 solid minutes of amazing work in her. That's her work drive coming out. But when she was mentally done, she was eating everything. She was sniffing everything. I couldn't get an ounce of focus. What do you think I did? Place. I had to actually put her on place and retrain her how to settle after that, to actually get the calm that I needed before I could send my owners home to do their night.
Yeah.
So it is super, super important to do place. There's so many different versions: place pattern, place duration. They're all different versions that help your dog settle to a calm state.
Yeah. Ricky, could you take Liberty back? She's just now settling, and I don't want her to get all riled up again. I want it to end on a good moment. She's a very driven dog.
We got a great question from Traveling Right Now that I think Bethany you're going to like. Traveling Right Now. When should you stop crating your dog? My dog is 1.5 and he seems to be house trained, no accidents in months. We are trying to figure out if we can remove the crate and just have a bed. You want to go for that one?
There's so many things that factor in. For me personally, this is just a personal preference. It's like being a doctor. You know, if you get like the top 5 things I wouldn't do being a surgeon, you know, we're dog trainers. So we hear all the horror stories. So you got to keep that in mind with the advice that we give. Personally, we don't leave dogs free in the house ever. And it has nothing to do with how good they are or they aren't. An empty chip bag hanging out of or hanging on top of the counter or hanging out of the trash can, it's a death sentence for your dog. And it won't happen for years. It'll be this one-off, random, crazy accident. But those are the kinds of things we hear about all the time. And so from just a safety perspective, that's my first no. My second no is, well, unless you live in the country, I don't suggest it, because where I live, I've got people constantly in the front. They drop packages off all the way at the front door because I live in a busy suburban neighborhood. I've got active families and dogs barking all around me and crazy squirrels all the time, which is not usually common. Where I grew up, the squirrels would run to the trees. They're not like right in the backyard, and they're barking back at the dogs, angry at them. And
squirrels bark. We have a squirrel that barks.
They absolutely bark. And so if I left my border collie or my German Shepherd, even though she's not that prey driven, she would become prey driven, and my border collie would be driven out of his mind if I left them in the main living room where I've got the noises in the front and the squirrels in the back to like watch and be tormented by all day long, and then expect them to behave in the backyard. It's not going to happen. So I do have one dog crated out of 3, but they are still all in a small room, secluded. I will not give them run of my house when I leave because of, you know, just a number of issues, you know, that I mentioned. Do you have anything to add?
I do. Just because you said squirrel. I had a client about 6 years ago, and their 2 dogs fought, not to the death, but pretty darn close while they were gone. They had lived together for 7 years without a single incident before that moment, not even a tiff between them. And there was a squirrel. They looked at their cameras and they saw a squirrel in the backyard, and one dog was barking, running along the back door, the glass. The other one just came up to check and see what was going on.
What's happening?
He happened to be in front, redirected to the other dog, and he really tore him up pretty bad. They both lived and they're both okay by the end of it, but the owners just kept saying to me, it's never happened. I just couldn't believe it. I said, I can't, because dogs are predators. They're animals. They're primal creatures.
They act instinctually.
They have instinct. Thank you. Instinctually. They have instinct. And when they act on the instinct, they don't really see what we see. They don't rationalize human thoughts like we do. So yeah, it's like, you got to trust the wildness of your animals. Yeah. And if you don't, which we don't leave dogs together like that.
Yeah. To be more on the positive side, if you wanted to see how your dog did for short bouts of time in a room with their dog bed with all your socks picked up and things like that, just, you know, see how it goes. My German Shepherd, she still, even when she was older, really loves to chew on natural things. So we have a natural wood shelf, and we struggled with that off and on for a year when she was the same age as your dog, and so we had to kind of go through some ups and downs of working on that. You just never know what might happen happen, and so go ahead and start. But I would personally never give a dog the whole house. That's just our opinion. So
if you want to really test your dog, though, extend your free time window, what you're currently giving, where your dog's acting really nicely in that window, following commands, not jumping, nipping, biting, they're not overstimulated. Push that window 1 to 2 hours past without crating. That will be what your dog does when you're gone. And if they're doing it when you're there, you probably expect to be twice as bad when you're gone. Yeah. So you'll see what an overstimulated dog does when they're tired, cranky, bored, and they're not getting input from you. So that means don't tell them what to do either.
Yeah. Now, I've absolutely seen very successful people and trainers have their dogs free in their home, and it's not a big deal. Again, to each his own. I had one dog that had freedom, our first German Shepherd that we owned. He was so great, really calm, relaxed dog. We trained him up for about a year after rescuing him, and then he had free rein. Then he hit about 8 and went on prednisone. And even when he went off of prednisone, he just had the habit of searching for food or anything that could be food. totally changed his demeanor after that. So I had to re-crate train him and then train him to be in the bedroom again.
I had that with Cheyenne when she turned 8 years old and we moved to our apartment. Couldn't leave her home alone anymore. Started howling, was very anxious, nervous.
And never done that before.
Yeah, had never, ever howled before that. So new environments, changes of routine, they all definitely play a role in how your dog's going to act and how it's going to affect them. You leaving is a change in routine.
Yep.
With them being out of crate.
Okay, Megan says, Cavapoo, 16 weeks old. She isn't interested in eating her food out of a bowl. She wants to be hand-fed or wants it dropped on the floor. Is this a bad thing? So how can I fix it? You know, it's not that it's a bad thing, Megan. It's just that, gosh, I don't want to get preachy, but for me, it's like, how much are you going outside the norm to accommodate your dog for something like this that probably is happening in other areas as well, where the dog isn't learning, you know, just how to problem solve and learn some independence and learn some confidence. For me, when someone says something like this, I'm like, oh, that's easy. They just don't eat because they're obviously not that hungry, and they like the food because they're eating it out of your hand. So for me, this is really unnatural from a dog standpoint. And so it's something that the human has accidentally created. We've seen it a ton of times.
It can easily get promoted just by being a little too soft with their puppy when they don't want to eat. Can I give my advice?
I did this with Happy, my little dog. She's passed away now. We went through a phase of that with Happy when she was a puppy. So I get it. Like, we're not shaming you or anything. It's just something that we see a lot.
No, we hear it 4 times a week. Yeah, we see it 4 times a week. You hear it from clients 4 times a week.
Yeah. You're accidentally conditioning it.
My recommendation is you're still hand feeding your meals. You're still doing all that for training specifically. You're not just sitting there giving handfuls of food for no activity, for no action. You need to sit, you need to come, you need place, you need down, you need stay, you need heel. Let's go work. You're training for those meals. I actually always tell clients to leave about a quarter of that meal for the bowl. I tell them that so the dog still thinks they're getting a meal. I'm telling you guys this so your dog still has to eat it from the bowl. It's not just hand feeding. But this is also my recommendation. I would put that puppy in a crate when you're feeding them. I would get them really comfortable.
If they're already crate trained.
Yeah, I would get them very comfortable in that crate to get them to start eating their food inside of there. Otherwise, you're probably going to get more
and
fight.
Walk away.
Yeah.
Don't be a part of it.
Cover, walk away, just leave. Here's my other solution though. If you're giving meals and let's say that you stop hand feeding, you stop dropping food on the ground and you're just going to go hardcore and feed in a bowl. This is my rule set for that. You can only do it for about maybe like up to 3 days and they have to be at a good weight. They can't be underweight.
Yeah.
Cannot be underweight. We have to stress that because there are a lot of vets out there that'll go crazy if they think we said it wrong. So I'm going to feed my dog her bowl of food. I'm going to feed it in the crate because I've already crate trained my dog. They're sleeping in there comfortably daytime and nighttime.
Or playpen. They need to be alone.
They need by themselves.
Yeah.
Put the bowl in the crate. I give up to 5 minutes for them to eat that bowl. I think Bethany might even give it a second time after this. I won't. I'm not. After 5 minutes, I'm taking that bowl out of the crate. I'm not throwing it away. Kibble's expensive. I'm going to put some saran wraps on it, some clear like plastic wrap. I'm going to put that in the fridge. Lunch rolls around 3-4 hours later. I'm going to take that same exact bowl out. I might work them for a few kibbles if that's what they're not doing. If they're not taking it from hand, then I'll work them for kibble.
No treats while you're doing this.
Mm-hmm. Or if they're not eating out of the bowl, I'll just give them back the bowl. Normally I get like nibble, 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 and that's it. And I'm like, okay, 5 minutes later, take that bowl away. And I'll be honest, I tend to get to day 2 doing this for lunch or dinner of day 2. So that means they skipped a whole 24-hour period of eating.
Which is
we did not
deal.
hold it back from them, though.
Yeah.
We offered it. They didn't want it. It's not a huge deal for them.
And it's no big deal. It's actually humans should be fasting more.
Yeah, we should be fasting.
But it's very, very common for dogs to do this unless they're Labrador Retrievers, which is actually a genetic thing I found out. But anyway.
Not done yet. Not done yet. It's not done yet. And then on that second day for lunch, they eat their meal and they eat the entirety of it. And then you give them dinner, they eat most of it. You give them breakfast the next morning, they eat most of it. You give them lunch, they eat most of it. There's a reason I keep saying most of it, because I want to start looking at the part they're not eating. Yeah. If I'm giving a full scoop of food, a 1 cup scoop, they're eating 3/4 of it. And I can actually pour that kibble back into a measuring cup and see it's about 1/4 every single meal. Cut that 1/4 out. They don't need it.
They might be self-regulating.
And in a month, when they're eating their food and they stop and they're like, Add it back in if you think they're ready for it. Yeah. For their growth. It's not about how much you want them to eat or think they should eat. Look at your bag.
It's not about the bag.
Well, look at your bag and reference it to a feeding chart online. Because not every company does it right. But most companies are going to give you the full amount for a growing puppy, for a maintenance diet of a adolescent dog, or even a mature diet for an older dog.
It's very often based off of intact, active dogs. So that's why a lot of times it's more than the dog actually needs.
People have a baseline though. I really want you to have a baseline. Look at the back of your bag. And if your puppy's not finishing their food and they're not motivated to eat, cut down from what the bag says, but you need a baseline. Most people are underfeeding their puppies in the beginning and then overfeeding.
When they're older
ages. So
it's crazy.
Follow the bag to a degree and then use your best judgment off of that.
One more thing, if you are using a metal bowl, it is possible that her tags are hitting the metal bowl, or even her teeth hit the metal bowl, and she eats a few pieces and then she's like, eh. We see that a lot with these cute little frou-frou dogs.
I had to get a rubber bowl for Cheyenne when she was 3.
Well, Cheyenne's not a frou-frou bowl, but she is.
She was wild. She was weird.
But it's a little different. She's got a feral gene running through her, so that's a little different. But anyway, it could be something like that. So you might need a different type of bowl. I see that with dogs with water a lot of times too. They'll drink water, and then it clangs on the bowl, and it makes them uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, those are your 2 things to go off of. Okay.
I love this one.
The 11-month-old.
Yeah.
11-month-old retriever keeps chewing the drywall. Holy bejesus. How can I train her to stop?
Put a leash on her and don't let her go near it.
Ooh, yeah, but he's probably talking about when he leaves. I'm guessing that's what you mean, right?
Sounds like I
mindful?
think we need to get you on a schedule. I think you need some kind of structure, crate schedule, boundaries. You need something that's going to help this dog learn to settle, but you also need them to be in their own designated area when you're gone. If you have this dog out of the crate when you're going and that's when they're chewing the drywall, then there's nothing you can do about it because you're not there. You got to do some crate training. If this dog is motivated to get out of the crate, because it sounds like it's a pretty, we'll say anxious, but usually we also say overstimulated dog. They might try to escape from crate. You might have to create some solutions for that too. Yeah. But if I have a dog out of the crate and I'm home, they're on leash, they're tethered to me, and I'm focusing so much on the relationship building exercise, which in our world, that's recall. Yeah. That's spending 30 to 50 repetitions every morning, just walking around with your dog. And I want to be able to walk by an area that my dog has chewed before. They look at it and I'm like, no, come, sit, good, food. And then I can kind of walk past it or walk in an opposite direction from it. I want some of that basic control. Do you want to add in? Do you want to layer?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If you, mindful Mizelle, if you watch Instagram and you watch trainers on Instagram, they're all going to tell you that this issue is because your dog is not fulfilled as a species and genetically. There's probably a grain of truth in that. There are dogs that are more orally fixated. And they need to be able to be orally fixated sometimes. But here's what they don't tell you in the 60-second Instagram clips of go hiking with your dog and play fetch and give them a Kong. What they don't dive into, because they want you to buy their online program, is you have to teach a valuable no. That's actually the whole point of having a retriever, having a hunting dog, is for them to be able to go out, retrieve something, bring it back. But if they make a mistake, or if you don't want them to, go and kill a bunny rabbit, which I just saw a retriever do on an Instagram thing, if you don't want them to do that, you need your no. And so if you were to play tug, 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 you need to have a really solid off switch, okay? And so there's that aspect of it too. You probably do need a more structured exercise, which means not running zoomies in the yard and not just running for a ball for fetch, which is just building a ton of drive. You want to really channel that drive into focus, a valuable no at 11 months old. And you probably do need some more fulfillment, but I just want to put that out there because it is such a buzzword right now that every trainer, even trainers I really admire and love, and I'm afraid I've probably done it too, you need more fulfillment, and then you won't have this issue. Bull poopity. Okay, I have a
Bull poopity.
I have a 2-year-old. We're trying to be more mindful of how we talk. So.
I like that. That's my new word, bull poopity.
So anyway, I just want you to keep that in mind as well. But yeah, you got to crate that dog.
Traveling right now. I like wellness, personally. Wellness kibble.
Travelin said never had to use a slow feeder. You wouldn't use a slow feeder is dogs that are so fast that they like hack and gasp air. A slow feeder is not for.
If we said slow feeder, we didn't
mean to. We just meant not a metal bowl, not a bowl that clings.
So if we said plastic, that might be the assumption for slow feeder. No, you can just literally get a regular plastic bowl.
Or rubber.
They have to be replaced more often because the teeth will dig gouges.
Yeah.
And a lot of bacteria gets in those gouges. You can't fully clean it out. Don't use the bristle pad of the sponge. Use the soft part.
Yep. I'm not a big fan of kibble, just FYI.
Traveling right now, not a huge fan of kibble. I did Instinct Raw for 7 years, and then I moved to Just Food for Dogs for 8 years until my dog died. Or 6 years till my dog died. So we're not really big kibble people.
Like there's like farmer's dog, and there's like a lot of lightly cooked food.
I'm still going to give you a kibble solution because not everyone wants to drop $3,000 every 6 months on dog food.
Agreed.
So what's the best kibble I personally recommend as a non-registered dog nutritionist? I recommend wellness kibble. I've taken a lot of classes, but I'm not a registered dog nutritionist. Wellness kibble, all life stages, not puppy food. I don't ever do puppy food. I don't ever do mature food. I do all life stages with the kibble. That's going to give me roughly the same thing I want till about 9 years old, and then I switch to a mature food.
And just add in like a yummy topper, like a freeze-dried topper or something, to make you,
Unless your dog already doesn't want to eat kibble. If your dog's already not trying to eat kibble, the topper might actually make it worse.
Oh, that's the lady,
That's the same woman we said no treats.
No treats, yeah. Wait, get this resolved first. And
no
then add
toppers,
that.
Yeah.
All right.
I would never do toppers, personally, because this dog might revert.
I wouldn't do. Well, if you use toppers regularly, then it would be fine.
That's fair. That's expensive. Toppers are pricey.
Toppers are
pricey. A single bag of toppers this big, which will last you about maybe 30 or 40 meals, is about $25 10 years ago. You
could also just, give your dog, you make some hamburger, set aside some hamburger. Mm-hmm. If you want healthier options than just kibble.
93.7. You gotta do 93.7, drain the fat. The fat is not good for him from the hamburger. If you're adding it to kibble, which is already nutritioned out for a daily value percentage.
Yeah. Cool.
So she adds ground turkey.
Perfect.
That's great. Yeah, and
that's great.
Almost no fat in ground turkey. That's great.
Yeah, that's great. All right, cool. Because you got to look for pancreatitis.
By the way, if you're frying your ground turkey and not boiling it, that's a mistake. You should be boiling it, not frying it. Like not putting it on a pan. It actually changes the chemical makeup of food when you fry food on a skillet.
You mean even saute?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to
change the chemical the chemical structure of the food, and it isn't as good for them. Just food for thought. We had to do it for the last 2 years of my dog's life.
But that's because she was older and the pancreas goes.
Well, that was for the fat, but the vet told me that the minute you saute or fry food, it changes the chemical makeup. It fries a lot of the nutrients in the food, which is what makes it taste so good to us. That's why we saute our food and fry it and don't boil our chicken.
But I would also say that over kibble.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
If you're comparing that
is still
to
better
kibble,
than kibble. You're absolutely right if it's better than kibble.
Okay. All right. I think we are going to have to wrap up. So.
Did we start late though?
And it is late. Oh, okay. All right, guys. So thank you very much. And we will see you same time, same place next week. Bye.
Thanks for tuning into Ask a Puppy Trainer Show.
We hope you found some advice that you can use to help make puppyhood a little easier.
Don't forget to join us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Instagram or TikTok at The Puppy Academy.
This is where you can get a chance to ask your burning questions in real time. And if you want even more puppy guidance, visit our website at thepuppyacademy.com for info on joining our online puppy school.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving us a review.
These reviews let more people find us and supports us on our mission to help as many puppy parents as possible around the globe.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.